Okay, so this is my setup for April 20th. This is Sunday, 2025, and just a little ahead here of the markets. But I'm going to start off with my pairs that I believe that are ready to take. So I have four here. I believe are ready to take USD CAD, Euro GBP, AUD, USD, and Euro NOK. So starting with Euro NOK, right now, this is actually a buy trade. As you can see, we shift the structure here. We're currently at the higher high. Okay, and we need, and we also we see a daily shift here. So we have this area of interest right here. Oh, actually, hold on. I was wondering what the fuck was going on. Exit replay mode. Here we go. So we had this pullback. This looks a lot better too, as you can see. The weekly had a pullback, daily had a pullback, and that's what we're having right here. So this is a daily pullback. Now this could be a setup for head and shoulders. As you can see, we do have this head, this shoulder. I mean, this left shoulder, that head, and then that right shoulder. So we just want to be careful there. Looking at the weekly, this is not a convincing enough wick for me to believe that it will reverse, but it could. You know, that shit happens. But right now, I like this pullback right into this weekly area of interest, and then we have this take profit here from this pullback. So the 4 hour as well had that pullback. As you can see, this is all higher low, higher high, and then this pullback. And you can see as it's already rejected from this area of interest. If we go even lower than that, you can see we had our accumulation occurring here. We had this break. It barely broke here, but that wasn't convincing for me. I wanted to see that break. Then I wanted to see this retrace right here, and then this engulfing. So this is where I could have got in like right there, but again, I wasn't. This was a pair that really moved up for me. So I'm looking to take this trade right here with the stop loss right below this accumulation. Okay, AUD USD, kind of the same thing. We're looking for buys here. Our take profit is going to be way up here actually. Okay, at this next structure point. Okay, we've already had that pullback in the daily, which looks very, very gorgeous. Same thing here on the 4 hour. So we're all in alignment, ready and set. We have our accumulation. I put the accumulation here because we had to shift the structure here. So as soon as we have this shift, it's actually going to be a 15-minute shift, a break of structure. Then we have a pullback. Then we can take our buys from there. Euro GBP. Okay, this is a trade we've already taken and passed the funded challenge, 25K funded challenge. So let me just take this off so I don't confuse myself. And then also we made about 30 bucks on the $100 account. But this one here, I like it. I still like it for sales. It's a counter, because we are at the higher high. Or we're technically pulling back. You can even say we're at the AOI. Yeah, so that's why I got the AOI here. But it's bullish on the weekly. Daily is bearish. As you can see, the shifted structure pullback. 4 hour is that shifted structure pullback, and that's what we're doing. Is we're just currently going with that pullback here. The take profit is going to be right down here, this orange line, and we just want to see another break. So if we see another break here, I like this area and this accumulation happening. Another break, a retest, and then we'll take sales. USD CAD. We've already had our break, and so we've already had our break. I don't count these or the wicks or this when we have that equilibrium happening and pullback. I want to see a clear break. So here was a clear break for me. Clear break, clear retest, and then this was the clear entry signal. This bad boy right here, clear entry signal right there. So this can be taken right here with the stop loss right above. I'll do it right above there, and then our take profit would be a 1 to 2, but since this is a clear sales, Um, oh yeah. Now USD CAD, that's why I have it at the top because this is such a good trade here. I mean, look at all of that profit that potentially can be made. So I'm not going to be speculative though. I'll get my 1 to 2 and I'll get the fuck out. But I mean, I could just keep one trade just running and see what that bad boy do. Even my $100 account. Okay, now that's the trades that are ready for me for today. For tomorrow, I got GBP starting with GBP in NZD. Okay, this one here, we're just waiting for a 4 hour. We have already had our shift to structure around the 4 hour. Now we're just waiting for either another shift to structure and then a lower low, or we're looking for more of a pullback, and then we'll look into sales. And actually, what the fuck am I talking about? No, yeah, that's what I meant. I meant like low, because we're looking for sales. So we're looking for a shift to structure here, right? And then not a shift to structure, but a higher high, and then a lower low shift to structure that way, right? Because right now it's bullish, and if we want sales, we need this to be bearish. So this is actually bullish right now. Okay, we need this to be bearish. So we're looking for a shift to structure, lower low shift to structure for the 4 hour. ADJPY, we're looking for sales, so we need that shift to structure the 4 hour, and then pullback. USD MX CNH, USD CNH, we're looking for buys. Okay, we want to see a 4 hour shift to structure. Right now we're in sales, but we need to see this shift to structure right up here. So once we see that shift to structure, then we'll look for buys. That was super fucking sloppy, but you get the gist. Euro PLN, we're looking for a 4 hour shift to structure for buys. Here's our shift right here. Or actually, our shift is actually occurring. So I actually like this one a lot more, because if we look at the daily, we've already had that shift and pullback. Yeah, so technically this is a shift happening right here. So we're making this shift right here. Yeah, I like that. That's a good enough shift for me. So once we make that shift, this is actually going to be, we just need to see that shift and then that pullback, and then we'll be looking to take that. Okay, so yeah, AUD CAD. Okay, so for AUD CAD, we are looking for this shift here, this lower low shift. Once we get that lower low shift, then we just look for that pullback and then the sales. Okay, and that's that for tomorrow. Now for this week, I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs, starting with CHF JPY. We are waiting for the 4 hour lower low. Okay, so the 4 hour lower low is for buys. We want to see a shift of structure here. Now this is buys here. This is a pullback. I have the shift down here. What we're looking for more is of a weekly retracement. So I don't know why it says 4 hour. Yeah, because we're looking for more of a retracement. We can't have the shift. We can't have the shift right about here and look for buys. But we're just so away from the area of interest that I would like to see a weekly retrace. That can happen this week. So I'm just going to put waiting for weekly retrace. And once I see that weekly retrace, I even spelled monitor wrong. So once I see that weekly retrace, then I'll be looking for more of the shift. So that was just like a typo. So I want to see price actually come down here. It's gonna take a few days. May take a few days to get there, but we'll just keep an eye on that. And then I have already have my alert set here, to when it gets around this area. Okay, USD MXN, what can happen this week? We're looking for sales here. Okay, we have a nice area of interest that we just passed. So we just want to see a pullback. We want to see a daily pullback in here. Once we see that daily pullback, then we'll look for that nice little lower high. Once we get that lower high, then we'll be targeting this bad boy right here, this next structure point right here, down here. That will be the target right there. CAD JPY. Okay, so for CAD JPY, we had that shift to structure on the daily. Now we're just looking for a pullback. Euro JPY. We're now looking for a 4 hour lower low. Currently, we're looking for buys right now. So let me double check because it's saying buys, but I wouldn't be looking for a lower low. I'd be looking for all right. Okay, so for weekly, okay, yeah. So the sentiment was correct. So we're looking for buys. We've already had the pullback on the daily. So for our weekly, our 4 hour, we're actually, yeah. So we're looking for a break actually. Okay, so I'm saying if price goes lower, we want it to stay around this area of interest. So if price makes a lower low, creates a lower high, creates a lower low, and then shift structure, then we'll be looking for buys. That's what I was saying. Because we wanted to kind of pull back just a little bit more so we have more, that would make more sense, honestly. Because if we tried to take a trade up here, the only thing is we would have such a super stop loss for it to make sense like that, for it to be 1 to 2. So we want it to make sense. The only way for us to get a nice little 1 to 2 is if our stop loss is around here somewhere, right? And then we have more potential. Even if we got in up here, some shit, you know, some shit like right there, it still make our 1 to 2. So we just want to make sure that we're getting into a profitable trade. NZD USD, we're currently waiting for in the daily candle closure. So we're having a pullback right now, and we're looking for buys. Our take profit will be up here. Okay, this looks promising as well. We've already had our candle closure, and actually we can even start looking for, as you can see, we had a pullback here. So we can actually start looking for even lower areas of interest here. So we see here we had 4 hour, we're having, we already had the 4 hour pullback. So this is, let me see, we had 4 hour pullback. Yeah, we've already had 4 hour pullback. So we can even start looking at some lower, we're gonna start looking at some accumulation, because I like this right here. Yeah, this is accumulating happening right here. So technically, if we want, we can start looking at this bad boy here. It's a very, very tiny accumulation. So we can even like redo it to like right there. I like that, right? So we can even do that, accumulation. So we're just looking for accumulation break here. I really like the candle closure already. Waiting for accumulation break, and we can actually move this. We can move this into, I'll just put it blue. We can move this into tomorrow. Yeah, let me just take it out blue. Okay, last but not least for this week, we got Euro SEK. So Euro SEK, we're waiting for, we're taking buys here. So for Euro SEK, we're having the pullback, but we do actually need to see the 4 hour shifted structure, which is way up here if we're looking for buys. So maybe a potential lower low. If we get a lower low like this, right? We get a pullback somewhere in here, and then we get a shift of structure. We can take buys, something like that. But we need to see the 4 hour in alignment. So we're just gonna sit on that one right there. Pause. So that's for this week. Okay, last but not least, the non-chosen, the ones that are not chosen for this week, starting with NZDJPY. Okay, we will look to take sales. But the only problem is that we're so close for a 4 hour shift of structure to our actual take profit, which would be somewhere right here. See, if we tried to take a shift of structure, the 4 hour, we'd be so close that it wouldn't even make sense. You know, we wouldn't even have, it just wouldn't make sense, and the market structure is a little messy. Okay, USD ZAR, it would be a counter ideal, but we had that with that wick rejection on the weekly, it's too close for a counter. And look at that wick, oh my goodness, you can't go against that right there. So just avoid it for now, past. USD CHF, we are at the super low, like lower low for weekly, we're at the lower low for daily. We could take a counter, we could start looking at counter trends. The only problem is what? Only problem is our take profit will be right here, and it just seems like as soon as we actually have a shift of structure on the daily right here, you see we're just so close to it that it doesn't even make sense. So we're not going to take that. Euro CHF, not clear. We'll be looking for sales, not clear. Euro SGD, structure not clear. Pass at that higher high. NZDCHF, we'll be looking for sales, but not clear. We got all of this, and we're just at the lower low right now. No clear take profit. Euro AUD, we'll be looking for, we're at a higher high, but this is just not clear. We're gonna pass for now. Euro SGD at this higher high, structure not tradable. Okay, we're at the higher high for both the daily and the weekly. NZD CHF. We are making our way back, but this will be a sell. We're just too far away from any structure points to take profits. Euro D AUD. We're at a higher high with the daily as well. We're at this higher high. No area of interest, no structure, take profit. We're passing for now. GBP CHF, no clear structure, pass. NZD CAD, we are weekly just way too far apart here. We're just in a huge consolidation. We still haven't gotten out of those ranges. We have some pairs that have actually broken out of those ranges a few weeks ago, but NZD CAD is not one of them. Okay, GBP JPY, same thing here on the daily. We're just too far apart on the lower high, the lower low. We're going to avoid that. That's just a bunch of consolidation on the daily. AUD NZD, same thing here. The weekly is just too far apart. As you can see, the lower high and the lower low, just too damn far apart. We're just going to pass that. Silver, I'm just watching. Okay, we're just watching and monitoring. I don't really trade silver, but I just like to monitor it. We just watch for the strategy. We just had a break here on the weekly, as well as the daily. We're having a pullback. So it looks like for here we just had our shift to structure on the 4 hour, but we're not close to the area of interest to take any sales, but that's what we're monitoring. Okay, structure is not clear here on Euro NZD. Where's the take profit? It's too close to the counter. If we wanted the counter, it's not clear. Pass. AUD CHF, structure not clear. Euro CAD, looking for clear structure. We're at the higher high if we were taking buys, but we're just not clear. In USD in okay, not in sync. Okay, weekly is sell, weekly is bear, and daily is bull. Euro USD at the higher high. We're looking for a counter trend here. We're at that higher high, but right now just no clear take profit, no clear structure point or area of interest. GPAUD, we did have that shift, but it's just so unclear. We're having all this small candles here happening. The weekly is having that pullback, but we're just not even at the area of interest right now. It's just not clear. We pass. No, it's not last, but USD JPY, we're at the lower low sell. No structure, really not too much structure here. I mean, we could technically say that this is an area of interest on the daily, right? The only problem is we have the lower low, and if we're looking for sales, if both of these are, then it's no clear. I mean, look at that. Look at, like, where would you target? You have all these structure points right here. These are rocks. If you're surfing, those are all rocks. But we don't want to hit any rocks, if you know what I mean. Okay, our last four here, starting with USD, SGD. We're waiting for a weekly pullback because we are we're just out here, just hanging out, dangling out here. We have no area of interest until we come way back here. So I got my alert here until we pull back. That will be our take profit if it wants to pull back, but it's going to take a few weeks possibly. Same thing here. We have our alert here. We need to see a weekly pullback before we start looking for any sales. And that was USD SEK. GBP USD, we're damn near already at the take profit, so we this one already kind of left us this week, and we saw that one there. Yeah, I think we even took that there, lost, but yeah, that one's gone. Yeah, that one is gone. Yeah, we lost that one, but the structure wasn't right on that one too. I did a breakdown for that one. Last but not least, GBP motherfucking CAD. GBP motherfucking CAD. All right, so this will be buys, but the structure is not clear. We had a pullback. Same thing with GBP USD. It took off. We're not going to chase it. We're not going to chase the wave. We'll wait for the next wave. So structure is not clear. And with that said, that is the Sunday breakdown. I know I went through a lot, but this is going to be a very profitable week. As you can see, we got 4 that are ready. As you can see, we got 6 that are happening tomorrow. And then this week, we got 5 more that could potentially happen. So what is that? 4, 6, 5, 15. I got 15 pairs. And it's a stark contrast to the last few weeks. The money's coming. Here we go. So cheers to a profitable week. Let's go.